The hidden camera that destroyed 2 marriages but made me rich. My revenge story that went viral. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. In my case, it was served with a side of viral fame and a bank account that grew by 6 figures in less than 48 hours. This is the story of how a $149 security camera changed my life forever, ended 2 marriages, and turned me into an overnight internet sensation. The Suspicion. My name is Alex Morgan. 6 months ago, I was just an ordinary 34-year-old IT specialist with a wife of 7 years named Rebecca. We lived in a comfortable suburban home, had decent jobs, and from the outside, everything looked picture perfect. But for months, something had felt off. Rebecca's behavior had changed. She was working late more often, being protective of her phone, and our intimacy had dwindled to almost nothing. The classic signs were all there, but like most people who don't want to face an uncomfortable truth, I ignored them. Until I couldn't anymore. It started with little things. The scent of unfamiliar cologne when she returned home, mysterious weekend work emergencies, and a growing emotional distance between us. I'm not naturally suspicious, but when your wife suddenly needs to password protect her phone after 7 years of marriage, you start to wonder. The breaking point came when I found a hotel receipt in her purse while looking for car keys. The Westlake Grand, just 20 minutes from our house, on a night she had supposedly been at a team-building dinner. I confronted her about it. "Oh, the dinner location changed last minute," she explained smoothly. "It was more convenient for everyone to meet at the hotel restaurant. I forgot to mention it." Her explanation seemed reasonable, but something in her eyes, a fleeting moment of panic, told me she was lying. Still, I had no proof, just a gnawing feeling in my gut that my marriage was unraveling. The decision. I'm not proud of what I did next, but desperation makes people do things they never thought they would. After weeks of sleepless nights and growing paranoia, I ordered a small, hidden camera disguised as a clock radio for our bedroom. It cost $149 on Amazon, with next-day delivery. As I installed it on my nightstand, positioning it to capture our entire bedroom, I felt sick to my stomach. This wasn't me. I wasn't the kind of person who spied on their spouse, but I needed to know the truth, one way or another. It's just for peace of mind, I told myself. If nothing's happening, I'll delete everything and never look at it again. I set up the camera on a Tuesday morning before leaving for work. Rebecca had mentioned she'd be working late again that night, the 3rd time that week. The camera would activate upon detecting motion in the room, and the footage would be accessible through an app on my phone. That entire day at work, I couldn't focus. My finger hovered over the app icon countless times, but I resisted the urge to check. I wanted to give it time. If nothing happened, great. If something did, well, I'd cross that bridge when I came to it. I told Rebecca I had a late client meeting and wouldn't be home until around 8 p.m. In reality, I sat in a coffee shop near our house from 5 p.m. onwards, nursing an Americano that grew colder with each passing hour, my anxiety mounting. At 6:37 p.m., my phone buzzed. The camera had detected motion. The discovery. My hands trembled as I opened the app. The footage took a moment to load, the spinning circle on my screen feeling like it lasted an eternity. Then the video began to play. Rebecca entered our bedroom, but she wasn't alone. With her was James Wilson, our next-door neighbor, and, supposedly, one of our closest friends. James, who was married to Emma, who baked us cookies when we first moved in. James, who helped me fix my car last winter. James, whose children played in our backyard pool. I watched in stunned silence as they kissed passionately, falling onto the bed. our bed, with practiced familiarity. This clearly wasn't their first time. My coffee cup slipped from my hand, spilling across the table. The barista came over with napkins, asking if I was okay. I nodded mechanically, unable to form words, as I continued to watch my wife betray me in the most intimate way possible. They were still there when I arrived home at 8 p.m., exactly when I said I would. I found them in the kitchen, drinking wine and laughing, as if they hadn't just been in our bedroom an hour earlier. James greeted me with a friendly clap on the shoulder. "Hey, buddy, just stopped by to borrow that power drill I mentioned last week. Rebecca was kind enough to offer a glass of wine." Rebecca smiled, no trace of guilt on her face. "I thought you'd be home sooner. Want me to pour you a glass?" I looked at them both, my wife and my neighbor, acting so normal, so convincing. If I hadn't seen the footage with my own eyes, I might have believed them. "No thanks," I managed to say. "Long day. I think I'll head upstairs and shower." As I climbed the stairs to our bedroom, the scene of the crime, I realized something fundamental had changed inside me. The pain was there, crushing and immediate, but beneath it was something else. A cold, calculating anger I'd never experienced before. The plan that night. I slept in the guest room, claiming I felt sick and didn't want to disturb Rebecca. In reality, I couldn't bear to lie next to her, knowing what I knew. I spent the night researching divorce lawyers and downloading the video footage to a secure cloud storage account. By morning, I had a plan. But it wasn't just about divorce. It was about exposing the truth in a way that would leave no room for denial or manipulation. I called in sick to work and waited for Rebecca to leave. Then I went to our bedroom and carefully removed the hidden camera. I transferred all the footage to an external hard drive and returned the camera to its original packaging. No evidence would remain in our home. Next, I called a divorce attorney recommended by a colleague who had gone through a messy split last year. Mark Daniels had a reputation for being ruthless but fair. Exactly what I needed. "Infidelity cases are always challenging," Mark told me during our consultation. "But with video evidence, you're in a much stronger position. Still, I have to warn you, using footage obtained without consent could potentially backfire." "I'm not looking to use it in court," I explained. "Not yet, anyway. I have something else in mind." Mark raised an eyebrow. "Be careful, Alex. Revenge rarely works out the way people hope." But I wasn't interested in being careful anymore. I was interested in justice. The confrontation. For the next week, I acted normal around Rebecca. I went to work, came home at my usual time, and even sat through dinner with her, discussing mundane topics while screaming internally. The camera remained in its hiding spot, continuing to collect evidence. James came over twice that week, once with Emma for a planned dinner, and once alone, supposedly to return a book. Both times, I treated him like the friend I had always believed him to be. The following Tuesday, exactly 1 week after my discovery, I took the day off work again. This time I sent Rebecca a text around noon. "Come home as soon as you can. Emergency." She called immediately, concern in her voice. "What's wrong? Are you okay?" "Just come home, please." 45 minutes later, she rushed through the door, finding me sitting calmly at our dining room table. On the table was my laptop, closed. "What's going on? You scared me to death," she exclaimed. "Sit down, Rebecca. We need to talk." The concern on her face was replaced with wariness as she slowly took a seat across from me. "I know about you and James," I said simply. Her expression flickered, surprise, then fear, then an attempt at confusion. What are you talking about? I opened the laptop and turned it toward her. The video was queued up, paused on a frame showing her and James entering our bedroom. I pressed play. The color drained from her face as she watched herself on screen. After a few moments, she lunged forward to close the laptop. But I held it firmly. "How could you?" she whispered, tears forming in her eyes. "That's my question," I replied, my voice steady despite the hurricane of emotions inside me. 7 years, Rebecca. 7 years of trust. Destroyed for what? A neighbor? A friend? "It's not what you think," she began, the most cliched response possible. "It's exactly what I think, and what anyone else who sees this video will think." Her head snapped up. "What do you mean? Who else has seen this?" "No one, yet. But I'm giving you a choice, Rebecca. We can handle this one of 2 ways." I laid out my terms: an uncontested divorce with a fair division of assets. Or I would make the footage public, sending it to friends, family, and her workplace. "You wouldn't," she gasped. "That would destroy me. My career." "Like you destroyed our marriage?" I cut in. "You made your choice when you brought him into our bed. Now you get to live with the consequences." She broke down then, sobbing and begging for another chance. It was the first genuine emotion I'd seen from her in months. But it was too late. The trust was irrevocably broken. "You have 24 hours to decide," I said, closing the laptop and standing up. "I'll be staying at a hotel tonight. Text me your decision by this time tomorrow." As I walked out the door with my pre-packed suitcase, she called after me, "What about James? Does Emma know?" I paused. "That's between them. My issue is with you, not her." But the truth was, I hadn't decided what to do about James and Emma yet. Part of me felt she deserved to know the truth. Another part wondered if it was really my place to blow up another marriage, even if James had helped destroy mine. The unexpected turn. That night in my hotel room, I received dozens of texts and calls from Rebecca. I ignored them all. Then, around midnight, a text came from an unknown number. "This is James. We need to talk. Rebecca told me everything. Please don't do anything hasty." So she had warned him. I wasn't surprised, but I was disappointed. I didn't respond. The next morning, just as the 24-hour deadline approached, I received an email from Rebecca. The subject line, "My decision." She agreed to an uncontested divorce. She would move out within the week and make no claims on our joint assets beyond what was fair. She asked only that I keep the video private. I should have felt victorious, but instead, I felt hollow. Yes, I had gotten what I wanted, a clean break without a legal battle, but the pain remained. The betrayal still stung just as sharply. Later that day, my phone rang again. It was Emma Wilson. "Is it true?" she asked, her voice breaking. "About James and Rebecca?" I closed my eyes, a wave of guilt washing over me. I hadn't contacted her, which meant either Rebecca or James had confessed. "Yes," I said simply. "I'm sorry, Emma." She was quiet for a long moment. "I've suspected for a while," she finally said. "I just didn't want to believe it. Do you have proof?" The question caught me off guard. "I do, but I want to see it," she interrupted. "James is denying everything. Says Rebecca made it all up because you're having problems. I need to know the truth." We agreed to meet at a cafe the following day. I brought my laptop, feeling like a bearer of bad news, an executioner of happiness. When I showed her the video, just enough to confirm the affair, not the intimate details, she didn't cry. She simply nodded, as if the final piece of a puzzle had fallen into place. "Thank you for being honest with me," she said. "Not many would have done that." The viral explosion. What happened next was entirely unexpected and changed the course of everything. 2 days later, a video appeared on YouTube titled "Cheaters Exposed: The Clock Camera That Caught It All." It wasn't my footage. I had kept my promise to Rebecca, but it was Emma looking directly into the camera, telling our story. She didn't name names or show the actual footage, but she detailed how her husband's affair had been discovered thanks to a hidden camera, and how the betrayed spouse, me, had approached her with the truth. The video ended with her holding up the exact model of clock camera I had used. "This $149 device saved me from years of gaslighting and lies," she said. "Sometimes the truth hurts, but living a lie hurts more." She included an affiliate link to the camera on Amazon. Within 24 hours, the video had 50,000 views. By the end of the week, it had surpassed 1 million. News outlets picked up the story. Soon, Emma was being interviewed about modern infidelity and technology's role in uncovering the truth. She never revealed our identities, always referring to us as "my neighbor" and "my husband." But the story resonated with people worldwide. And that Amazon affiliate link? It was generating thousands of dollars a day in commissions. 3 weeks after posting the video, Emma called me. "We need to talk," she said, "about the money." We met at the same cafe. She looked different, more confident, almost radiant despite the circumstances. "The video has made over $70,000 in affiliate commissions," she told me. "And I've been offered a book deal about recovering from betrayal. The advance is $150,000. I stared at her, dumbfounded. "That's incredible. Congratulations. Half of it is yours," she said firmly. "None of this would have happened without you. You were honest with me when you could have stayed silent. You gave me evidence when you could have left me in the dark. We're in this together." I tried to refuse, but she insisted. "Besides," she added with a small smile, "I have a business proposition for you." The partnership. Emma's proposition was simple but brilliant. We would create a website and YouTube channel dedicated to relationship transparency, featuring reviews of various devices that could help expose infidelity, alongside resources for healing and moving forward. With her newfound platform and my IT background, we were uniquely positioned to fill this niche. "I'm not suggesting we encourage spying," she clarified, "but people deserve to know the truth about their relationships. Sometimes technology is the only way to get past the lies." Over the next few months, our platform grew exponentially. The website, truthseekersnetwork.com, became a hub for people dealing with suspected infidelity. We partnered with therapists to provide resources for both those who discovered betrayal and those who were tempted to stray. We expanded beyond just technology reviews to include legal advice, emotional support forums, and success stories of people who rebuilt their lives after infidelity. Every product we reviewed and linked generated affiliate commissions. Every video we posted garnered hundreds of thousands of views. Ad revenue poured in. 6 months after that fateful discovery in my bedroom, our platform was generating over $50,000 monthly in combined revenue. Rebecca and I finalized our divorce 3 months after my discovery. She moved to another state, seeking a fresh start. I heard through mutual friends that she was in therapy, working on herself. James and Emma's divorce was messier. He contested everything, especially after discovering her new online venture. But with the evidence I had provided and her growing financial independence, she eventually secured a favorable settlement. The unexpected connection. Working closely with Emma created an unexpected bond between us. We had both been betrayed by the people we trusted most, and that shared trauma created a foundation of understanding that was rare and valuable. We spent countless hours together, building our business, sharing our healing journeys, and gradually, something deeper began to develop. 6 months into our business partnership, during a late night of content planning at her apartment, Emma looked up from her laptop with an expression I hadn't seen before. "Do you ever think about how strange this all is?" she asked. "How the worst thing that ever happened to us led to this?" She gestured around, indicating not just the successful business we'd built, but the space between us. "I think about it every day," I admitted. "Sometimes I wonder if I should feel guilty for how well things turned out." She shook her head. "Don't. We didn't choose what happened to us. We only chose how to respond, and we chose to help others while helping ourselves." That night marked a turning point in our relationship. We weren't just business partners or friends bonded by betrayal anymore. We were two people who had turned pain into purpose and found something unexpected along the way. A second chance at happiness. The reflection. Today, as I write this, our platform has helped thousands of people discover painful truths about their relationships. Some marriages ended as a result. Others were rebuilt stronger after confronting difficult realities. Our inbox is filled with messages from people thanking us for giving them the courage to seek the truth, whatever it might be. The hidden camera that destroyed 2 marriages did indeed make me rich, both financially and in life experience. The revenue from our platform continues to grow, and Emma and I recently purchased a new home together, far from the neighborhood where our previous lives imploded. But the true wealth hasn't been in dollars. It's been in the freedom that comes with living authentically. It's been in helping others find their own path to truth. And it's been in discovering that sometimes the end of one story is just the beginning of a better one. I never imagined that a $149 device would change my life so dramatically. I never planned to become an internet sensation or to find love again so soon after heartbreak. I certainly never expected to build a business around the very tool that exposed my wife's infidelity. But life has a strange way of creating opportunity from disaster. The camera that was meant to simply confirm my suspicions ended up revealing a path I never knew existed. A path to independence, purpose, and eventually happiness. If there's one lesson in all of this, it's that the truth, however painful, is always worth knowing. Living in reality, even a difficult one, is better than living in a comforting illusion. The hidden camera didn't just expose a betrayal, it freed me from a lie, and that freedom has been worth every penny.